we sent out to everybody. So I give it a couple more minutes. But everybody, Anthony Prichard is well-respected author, amazing skill set in his capacity for helping you to understand, utilize video in both your YouTube, Google, and personal business applications. He can go as in-depth as you can handle, or he can give you, like for me, I ask, teach me the most important things in the most layman of terms, because that's what works best for me. But I'm thrilled to death to have him here. Howard has had a family emergency. His brother was airlifted to a hospital.
Oh
And so I
no.
share that with you so that you understand that he, with his kind generosity and the generosity of the Lecito group, we're able to have this happen today. And so I want to make sure that I take a moment and just thank Howard. And of course, his brother is in our prayers. Okay.
Mm.
In the meantime, let it go. And Anthony, you want to go ahead and get started? We've got 13 people here. There will be many more, I'm sure, joining. So just maybe start off with what you do and that type of thing, and then do your thing, and I will shut up.
Sure, Harry. Thanks for the kind
Mhm.
introduction, and our prayers are certainly with Howard's brother. I'm recording this as well, so if we go by something too quickly and you want to review it, you can easily gain access to it. And for those that weren't able to catch it, they can see it on replay. My name is Anthony Prichard. I'm a certified Google partner and a YouTube specialist. And what Harry said about my teaching methods was right. I can deliver the information at a high level, and I can also break it down at a very simplistic level. The best way I learned how to do that was just to conduct a live demonstration, and so that you could copy what I do and apply it to you and your own business. And so today will be an actual hands-on, over-the-shoulder view for you of how I create a piece of content, a 1-minute video, how I publish it to YouTube so that it appears on the first page of Google when you type in the keyword that we title the video. And I made this discovery quite a few years ago, and I've just been practicing it over and over ever since. And so this will not be death by PowerPoint. You'll get a really good tutorial on why video is important, on how you can use it for yourself, and what exactly to do with the video once you've created it. So if you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we will jump right into the presentation. Right, we're up here, and we're presenting. So I have traveled around the country to give this presentation over 350 times. And it always gets a great response because I'm usually there in the office and I make a video for the group that I'm making it for. Well, I don't have that luxury today. I'm in Denver, Colorado, and you guys are out on the East Coast in Virginia.
Yeah,
Right?
most of us are, right?
Okay. And so here's your agenda for today. We're just going to touch on why video, and then I'll show you some shortcuts, and we'll do some interactive activities. So I hope you've got your phone handy. This will be the hard work. This is what you hire a coach for, to ask you the tough questions and to break off the rust. And it doesn't mean you have to publish the videos you make today. It just means that you have to get the wheel turning. One thing that I wanted to display today that I won't get a chance to demonstrate is this smartphone video editing tool that I just love called Magisto. And it magically uses artificial intelligence to help you create videos in a way that's like a game. So they've successfully gamified video editing, and it just makes it very simplistic at a very low cost every month. And oh, can you hear that? You probably can't,
No.
because when I shared my screen, I didn't click this little share sound button in the left-hand corner. And so now you can see it. if I can pull up my Chrome. Where did that go? Okay. Pardon me as I navigate my computer.
It's good
There
to
it is.
know that you experts have the same technological difficulties as us.
I'm swimming this morning. Here we go. You hear it now? And I always say, isn't it nice to know that somebody took care of that thing that has been holding me back? Because editing can be a daunting task if you've ever decided to dip your toe in the water. And luckily, somebody thought of that. There's a new app every Monday in the App Store, and this is one that just really makes sense for creators. The next thing I'm going to show you here is a dashboard for an advertisement that was run using a 1-minute video. And you'll find that there are a lot of YouTube creators on YouTube that will teach you a good YouTube strategy for growing your channel, but I don't think you'll find any of them that talk about using the videos you create to advertise to your local farm neighborhood. So as you can see in this example here, we've got a video that was spent $125 over March, April, May to get 11,000 impressions or 11,000 5-second views. And then you've probably gone to YouTube before and seen one of those 5-second videos that you can skip. Well, if you skip the video, the advertiser pays nothing, and it's simply a free impression. But if they passively do nothing and continue to watch the video, then that's going to cost you 2 cents per view. The nice thing about this is that you're not wasting your money. The money that you're spending to cast this video in your local neighborhood is retained by a geographic fence or a zip code. And you want to talk about be known as the expert in your neighborhood? This is the fast way to do it, and it doesn't cost a lot. It beats direct mail.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Just one thing. If you guys have questions, don't wait till the end because it moves fast and you'll get past it, right? So just saying, ask questions.
Yeah.
It's in your best interest. So I have a question. Can you explain what that means, the geographic fence, and why that's so important? Because I hear you and I understand you, but I want to make sure everybody gets what that means.
Yeah. Well, I can flip back and forth between these slides, but when I create the advertisement in Google, I can use my YouTube videos, right? And then I can tell Google, I only want my video to show in a 4-mile radius or in one of these zip codes, or maybe multiple zip codes.
Can I ask another question while you're there? Can we also do specific areas of a city? Like, can you break it as narrow as a subdivision?
No, you can't go that small.
Okay.
How small can you go?
A zip code or 1-mile radius.
Okay.
Oh, well, 1-mile radius is pretty good, right?
Yeah. And how do we get to that screen? Is that through Google Business, Google My Business, or where do you go to get?
Great question, Robin. You're already thinking ahead. I can tell you're a quick learner. The place that you get to this screen is after you've entered and set up your Google Ads profile. And you can find that URL by typing in ads.google.com. And then you'll create a video ad. And once you do that, it'll ask you, where do you want your video ad to be seen? And this is that screen.
Great.
So this strategy that I'm giving you today is not just an organic strategy, not just a way to show up for free on the first page of Google, but it's also a way for you to put your face and your name and your service offering in front of every house in your neighborhood. And you can ensure that everybody does know that you're the go-to person in this corner of the world for buying and selling homes, because you know the neighborhood better than anyone else. You drive by all these landmarks every single day. You know the value of them better than a realtor that doesn't live in the neighborhood. And that's why this is just such a great strategy. And I'm so glad that you're here today. The workshop that you're getting here is on the left. I do have 2 other classes, and if you guys like this one, we can talk about those other ones. This is an article that I found that talked about why farming works for realtors. Well, I don't need to open up this article to have this conversation with you, because you all live this truth every day anyways. And I touched upon it just earlier. There seems to be a high level of trust that can be built very quickly with somebody that lives in our own backyard. We just have this common ground, this bridge of similarity that's so high on the list that, number one, we both believe it's going to be more convenient for both people. I'm not going to have to wait for somebody to drive across town to show me a house that just pops up in my neighborhood, or vice versa. You, the realtor, aren't going to have to waste a bunch of time driving all over town when the people are coming to you because you have the hottest news on the developments in your neighborhood. You're going to know about the construction that's going on down the street. You may attend city council meetings, and so you may know what developments are planned that aren't even fenced off yet. You're certainly going to know where to find the fixer and flipper houses, and so many more things. So if you still need convincing, you can go to that link. Here's a map of a real estate team that has said, we're all going to farm our neighborhood. And you can see that Scott and Kelly overlapped the same neighborhood. But Kelly focuses on first-time buyers, where Scott focuses on veterans and senior living. They can coexist in harmony in the same neighborhood. They can both learn how to farm their neighborhood equally in the same geographic area, because they're going after a different demographic of the market. But once these maps are laid out like this, then it's very easy to see, if a new realtor coming in might have a conflict of interests, or if they should choose a different subdivided neighborhood.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Regarding, you said that when another new agent comes and try to farm that location, and how do we know if someone else is already there?
Well, all you have to do is type in realtor near me and see who comes up. That's the goal right here. We want to be first on the list when somebody in our neighborhood types in realtor near me. Guess how many times that keyword is searched a day?
73.
200 per zip code.
Wow.
But I mean,
do they literally use those words realtor near me, or do you mean they use the words like realtor in Parker or realtor in Littleton?
Good definition, clarification, Sarah. Yeah, that keyword represents all the associated keywords to that one. So yeah, the zip code, the city or the neighborhood, and near me are all geographic in nature, so Google sees them all as the same.
Got it. Okay, so somebody could so that 200, what did you say, 200 per day per zip code?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like if somebody says realtor in Parker, that would show up as realtor near me.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
And can I ask, because normally if I'm looking for something, I'm not even done typing it in the search engine and it says, hairdresser near me, which is
Mhm.
funny because my kid's getting his haircut right now, right? And it came up hairdresser near me. So I'm guessing it auto-populates that. It's that common.
Right. Yeah. If you type in hairdresser, you're probably going to see near me pop up in the suggested text.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, great. Here are some statistics about video. And this sort of rounds out my why video part of the workshop. And I look at the big numbers. The one on the upper left says that 90% of users say that product videos are helpful in the decision-making process. Well, as realtors, we have the productized service. We are the product. Our brand represents our service. And so 90% of your customers who are looking for the services that you provide are telling you here that they prefer you to be forward with a little video. And even if it's just one, they're looking for something. They don't even know what it is. It's a subconscious decision-making process, but it's the body language. We can convey so much about who we are and what we do with our body language. And that is the activity I have planned for you next. It's a body language activity. Any questions? Okay. Before we move on to that, I have a Venn diagram for you that represents the old video production industry, where you could only have 2 out of the 3. It could be good and fast, but it wasn't going to be cheap. And in the past, video production cost $30,000, $50,000, $5,000. It was in the thousands. And today, one of the least valuable college degrees is in video production. You could have it good and cheap, but it wasn't going to be fast. Think about indie film or new person just getting started. And it could be fast and cheap, but it wasn't going to be good. I think today we've reached a point where all 3 of these are possible. And I'd like to make this demonstration stand for proof of that. And here's an example of YouTube video that I made very quickly that communicates a powerful message. I've got one elevator ride to convince you that video is more powerful than you think.
Going up?
Go ahead, ask me what my elevator speech is. So, go ahead guys, ask me for my elevator speech.
Okay, what's your elevator speech?
If you were on an island and you could only bring one of these 3 things with you, would you bring your smartphone, a laptop, or a video camera?
Got battery issues pretty quickly.
You only have one.
iPhone, I guess. I think I do the
That's
iPhone.
right, a smartphone.
Probably bring a smartphone.
That's right, a smartphone. My name's Anthony Prichard with Elevated Conversions. I'm not the best at elevator speeches, but I am the best at showing you how video leadership can help you develop your business. Okay, that was a quick video I did, and it gained a lot of social proof, a lot of traction 5-6 years ago, because people just weren't using their smartphone yet to create videos. But today it's very easy to create a very high quality video production. So why video? Because it communicates 80% better than print, text, or audio messages. It communicates with body language. For example, if I move my head and then my eyes, it's different than if I move my eyes and then my head. it uses all three of the teaching methods: learning visually, learning with what we hear, and kinesthetically. People are actually touching on the screens of the video. Seth Godin said that communication is emotion and information, and nothing can communicate emotion better than video. He also said that companies who use this better than their competitors will thrive in the new year. So this is the first time I discovered video. I was remodeling this house back in 2007. And my parents had given me a flip cam for Christmas. Has anybody seen this before? It's the first time you could record HD video in your hand. And you'd plug it into your computer, and then you would transfer the files to your desktop. And the only place to put the videos at the time was YouTube. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make video and I'm going to put it on YouTube. And then I was like, oh, what am I going to say? I mean, I'm not an actor here. I'm not a stand-up comedian. If I try to memorize this stuff, it's going to come out all wrong. And I'm going to look fake. And I had been in sales before this, so I knew that I wasn't going to try and fake it. And how all good ideas come, as they usually do, I was in the shower and the light bulb went off. And I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll just make a video of the things I'm saying every day anyways to my customers. So I looked at this, and at the time I was working for fix and flip investors. I said, hey, look, behind me is this house on 1643 Raleigh Street. We just started demolition a week ago, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough on the progress that we've made so far and what we're going to do and how much it's going to cost. So I took this video into the house and I was explaining what was going on. And then I had a subcontractor right there in the hallway putting tile down. And I said, oh, hey, Javier, would you mind telling the people who are watching at home what you're doing there? And he looked at me with shock and horror. And then he said, well, yes, of course, Anthony. What I have here is travertine tile, and it's going in a pinwheel pattern, and you're going to get some nice bone grout, man. I'm going to seal it and polish it. You're just going to love it, man. I'm like, whoa, all right, thanks. And went on with the rest of my review. Well, after I published that video, the next day, somebody called me and wanted me to remodel their kitchen. And I was like, what? And I figured something out that day, that I could shortcut the whole sales process by giving a decision maker all the information they'd ever need to know to make a decision. Is that somebody I think I can work with or not? And that's what they could do with that video. They could see my body language. They could see how clean I kept my job site. They could see the relationship I had with my subcontractors. And for more or less, how well I was performing on the job. And so after that, I had that big discovery. I was on a different trajectory. I said, you know what? I'm going to sell my tools, because there's something bigger than fixing and flipping houses out there. And that's when I made this passion of teaching video my own. So our activity for today is communicating without verbalizing. Would like everyone to grab their phone and take a sequence of 5 photos. So open up the camera and take a photo of a happy face, of a sad face, of an angry face, of a surprised face, and of a curious face. Go ahead, I'll do it with you now. All right, how'd that go for everyone?
Good.
It's easy.
Good. Did you learn anything?
I didn't know how to make an angry face. I was like, how that?
It's in there somewhere. Good.
That was
Yep.
funny.
So it's as easy as pulling out that best friend in our front pocket. And our kids are actually doing this much more than we were doing this when we were their age. And they send their emotions to each other in the form of a photograph. And this is a method of, just cultural, hereditary history of humans communicating. And so it's showing up again with our youth and their Snapchats. And I think that they're going to be well attuned to speaking on video when they reach our age. It's going to be part of their job description, right? It's not even going to be something that is compensated for because it's such commonplace. Does anybody know who these two guys are?
Should.
This is Larry Page on the right and Sergey Brin on the left. 18 years ago, they created a company called Google in the center of the Silicon Valley. And they said, we're gonna change the world change the internet, at least, with this thing called Google. And they said, if we focus on this one thing, people will keep coming back to use our tool. If we focus on giving people a good experience, they'll continue to use our website. Because at the time, it was very difficult to find the websites you were looking for. You'd get a lot of pop-ups, and you couldn't trust if there was going to be a virus that would come onto your computer. So they focus their attention on the user's experience. And as business owners, we should follow their lead and take a cue from them and give our customers what they want. And they bought Google for $400 million back in 2007 because they knew that people preferred video. Okay, so I have a question here, and it looks like there's already an answer. So those come up in the wrong order. But the question is, what is the most valuable thing on any website?
Content.
It's content, could be, yeah.
Uniqueness.
Yeah, in the real estate industry, your unique approach is your unique differentiator. But right before they hand over that big stack of money, they've got this risk and reward decision to make. Are they going to get a good experience? And the best way to show them that is with a video testimonial.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with this 3-step process that helps anyone to give a great 1-minute video testimonial. And I call it the testimonial sandwich. And whenever I ask anybody for a video testimonial, their shoulders like creep up into their ear holes and they're like, well, what do I say? And so I stab them with this card and I say, just use this 3-step formula. It helps anyone get a great video testimonial. So how do we get started collecting video testimonials? Well, after debating this topic long enough, we've all discovered that the best way to collect more video testimonials is to give more video testimonials. So what does that look like? Well, there could be a flower store in your neighborhood, or a yoga studio that you love. Or maybe there's a childcare center that really takes good care of your kids, or even a grocery store or an auto mechanic or your lawyer or your landscaper. And the more you give, the more you get. So for example, if you've got a great restaurant that you go to and you say, can I send you guys a video testimonial? Nobody's going to say no, but they'll say, sure. So you can email them your video, and most likely they're going to use it because they recognize the value of it. But by doing so, you've introduced who you are and what you do. Hi, my name's Anthony. I'm a realtor. I'm at a restaurant right now, and I just had the best steak sandwich, whatever. So it acts as a little bit like a Trojan horse. You've got your restaurant publishing content about you and your brand, which is your face. So this is the activity next. Pick something to give a video testimonial for. I'm going to give you a few tips though. First thing, remember, look at the lens of the camera, not at the display. One of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody's looking at their own face on their smartphone instead of the video camera. And when I look at it on the computer screen, it looks really funny. And I'm like, hey man, I'm over here. What are you looking over there for? Talk to me. So look at the lens and not the display. Leave yourself a little buffer before you start talking after you record, in the front and in the back before you end the recording. That'll help you with your production once you download this file. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to leave a 1-minute video testimonial for whatever you want. You could leave it for your brokerage, you could leave it for this workshop, you could leave it for your power partner, whatever you want. Let's go like this. And let's go like this.
Should we all mute ourselves so we're not, okay.
Hi, my name's Anthony Prichard, and in my, oh, cut. Hi, my name's Anthony Prichard, and I'm in my office right now giving a workshop on YouTube best practices. I just want to give a shout out to Harry Hasbin, who is my real estate coach. He provides really insightful and timely information as I need it. Doesn't fill my head with too much information until I need it. And he's always there to answer my bleeding questions. So if you're a realtor looking to get some coaching, I highly recommend Harry Hasbin. Thirty seconds. All right. Great job. I'll say it again. You video testimonials are timeless and they're transparent across all platforms, especially your website. That's why I think they're the most valuable asset that any business can have. And sadly, 90% of businesses don't have one. But it's the best way for somebody who's just discovered you to see the proof that you can do what you say you can do, and that they're going to have a good experience.
So Anthony, I have a question.
Yeah.
You recorded in portrait mode, so I did that also. Do you have any recommendations around that? Does it depend where? Well, it's going to be on Google and YouTube.
Mm-hmm. If you're able to, I always get both. And if somebody's brand new at this, then I say, well, No problem. You'll get to see the video we create together and let me know if you want to do it again or if you like it or not. But for your media archive, I would recommend having both. If you can only have one, get the landscape one.
Okay.
Throughout the last 100 years, we've become more accustomed to watching video in the landscape ratio. But more and more, that's moving to the vertical ratio. Great question.
So I did my video. Am I ready to send it?
Okay. Yes. And I'll give a hint to those who are keen to the giveaway at the end. The quicker you can send your video, the better your chances are at winning the prize at the end. Okay, next slide, please. This, everybody recognizes this.
Oh, I have a quick question about
Sure.
the Magisto. So I know like that's really good for kind of those video montages. Can you use Magisto for like a testimonial that's just not going to have music behind it?
Yep, absolutely. You can
Okay.
input your own music or tell it that you don't want any music.
Cool.
You can add your animated logo to the front or the back of it. You can add the text over the bottom. So this is the trusted resource for 90% of all homeowners. They go here to solve their daily problems. And if they decide that today's the day they're ready to move, keyword that they type in most likely is, who's the realtor in my neighborhood? Who should I know about before I make this decision? You know, there's 7 billion people in the world, and we're not going to connect with all of them. So there's going to be a large amount of people who look for you that are just not a good fit for one reason or another. But if you can't even show up, then you don't even exist. So this is really a big responsibility for all businesses, that they're able to appear on the first page of Google when somebody's looking for them. And this video that we're about to do today is going to allow us to do just that. So what should we call our video? Well, let's think about that for a minute. If somebody's about to move out of the neighborhood, it might be a different keyword than if somebody's about to move into the neighborhood. But my experience tells me that realtors on this call would prefer to have listings instead of buyers. So what might they type? Well, that one's going to be realtor near me. I'll tell you that right now. They believe that the realtor in their neighborhood is going to be more experienced and better at selling their house than somebody from not near them. But let's say we were looking for people who lived here, and we wanted to build a more traditional long-term relationship with that person. We might try to find something that we have in common, like bike trails or hiking trails or golfing or taking a dog to the dog park. Or maybe we both have kids, and so we might be good friends, you know, to let our kids get all their energy out together. All the things that you already do every day are ways that you can connect with people in your neighborhood. And these things that are resources or assets in your neighborhood, they have a direct impact on the value of the homes in that neighborhood. So highlighting the parks in your neighborhood are all going to be ways that you can provide value with video to these people who live here and that eventually you're going to have to sell their home. So there's this keyword over here on the right that says schools in. Who do you think might type that keyword in?
parents.
Right. Before they choose a house, they're going to choose for their kids where they're going to go to school.
Yep.
So a great keyword to attract more buyers to you and your brand is the keyword schools in XYZ neighborhood. And this lends itself to creating several resource videos that are very easy to make. And so that's why I've used it as the example in today's workshop. Yesterday, as the sun was setting, I was frantically running around to record 3 different video clips before the sun went down. And so that's the video that I'm going to use today to rank on the first page for the best schools in Englewood, Colorado. And what that'll lend itself to is to me doing 3 more videos. I can do 1 video just on the grade schools in my neighborhood. I can go in front of each grade school and I can say, what is the grade school known for? And I can show it, which is really the information that the person needs. Next, I'm going to do one for middle schools. And next, I'm going to do one for high schools. Disclaimer, I'm not a realtor yet. I'm still in school. And so by publishing this video, I can prove a point that yes, we can get on the first page of Google, but as soon as it's up, I'm going to remove it because I can't actually accept clients yet. Okay. Why haven't you made a video yet? There are 4 main fears that people have that are preventing them from making more videos. And I feel like it's important to address those here today with you. First fear is the fear of equipment. How much freaking equipment do I need? And the fear of technology. I mean, there's a 3-year degree in audio engineering that basically teaches you how to turn the volume up and turn volume down. I ain't got time for that. Next, there's the fear of cost. Am I going to waste money? Am I going to go down the wrong path and have to throw it away again? Where's the best place to spend my money? I don't know if I have a big budget for this. And the worst one of all, fear of judgment. What are other people going to say? How much of it am I going to need? Where am I going to put it all? That's way too much equipment. And sometimes technology just isn't for me, and I don't want to waste my time learning how to use it. Who the heck are all these people, and what are they doing trying to help me make video? And worst of all, what are people going to say? And the way I was able to overcome this was by just speaking to one person. In that first video that I made, I stumbled across something very important around the question, what am I going to say? And it was to just focus my message on one person. I didn't care what everyone else said about the video because they probably weren't going to buy from me anyways. I was making the video for investors who were more likely to hire somebody like me to fix and flip their house. So that's who I made the video for. I knew it was going to be well received by them because it's all the questions they ask me every day anyways. I already know them. I already know their objections. I already know their questions. And so I can just speak to the same thing I'm saying every day anyways. And those haters, they say you're not trying hard enough unless you got a hater. But making things easy is the stroke of genius that was Albert Einstein. So we're going to take his leadership and try to make this as easy as possible. So what tools do you need? Obviously, YouTube is where we're going to publish this. So it might take me a little bit to, get familiar with YouTube, maybe watch a YouTube video on how to navigate my YouTube channel, what I should be aware of. Next, technology. And luckily for us, Google has set up this amazing catcher's mitt for us to have a great experience with their tools. Google Drive and Google Photos allows us to automatically upload our photos and images into the cloud as soon as we reach a Wi-Fi signal, so that we're never dependent on an appliance and running out of space, or being able to transfer, take long amounts of time to transfer large files. There are some video editors here: Video Shop, iMovie. I'm sure a lot of those iPhone users are familiar with that. Quick, that's a video editor by GoPro that's also very gamified, and I enjoy using for quick little videos. And the equipment, well, luckily we already have one of these. So does 70% of human beings on the planet. And best of all, it's free. In startup business teachings, they teach entrepreneurs to use the MVP model, or the minimum viable product. Once we can prove that we can communicate successfully with video, then it's time to spend money. But I don't think it's yet time before that. And finally, how are we going to overcome judgment? Well, we're just going to focus on the person, the buyer, or the seller, not both. The person that lives in my neighborhood already, that may not know about some of these resources in the neighborhood. And by doing so, we're going to be able to easily communicate to the right people with our short educational videos. Okay, anybody have any questions before we dive right into the live
I
demo?
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a quick question. Is there any benefits to the what was it called now? The editor you talked about, as opposed to iMovie?
Okay, yeah. Here's my number one reason for suggesting Magisto. In every single other video editor, there are layers. You insert your media into a layer, you can trim the layer, you can add a textual layer over the top of that layer, and then an audio layer. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's an exponentially more complicated process than the Magisto model. They've just turned around the user experience to assume that nobody's ever used a layering video editor before. And they've said, what is their intuition? They've gathered sample people before that have never used video editors before. And they've said, what do you expect should be on this page to allow you to modify and manage the video? And then they've created this gamified video editor. So all the others have a traditional layering format editor. Magisto does not. A different thing, one of the things they're also known for is understanding when you're taking a collection of photos and videos. So let's say you go to a discovery meeting with a client, and you take a few photos, and you go around a corner with a video. Maybe you say, oh, isn't the view of the lake just beautiful from here? With your phone. Tomorrow, Magisto is going to see that you took a collection of these videos in this one geographic location, and you might like to see a video about that. So it's going to email you and say, hey, look, we made a video for you. Do you like it? And you're going to say, holy cow, I didn't have to tell you anything. I just took a photo and a few video clips and you made a video for me. And by watching the videos that it makes for you, you will become naturally a better video creator, because you might say, oh, I want this picture to go in front of that, or I want this video to be shorter or longer. And you can easily make those simple edits inside of their solution, which you can be doing at a bus stop, or in the library, or at the theaters, or sitting on the couch watching your favorite documentary. That's what I love about it. you don't have to waste any more time. You can just fiddle on your phone. Any other questions? Okay. Then we'll dive right in. The first step is to do some research, and I've helped
I'm
you do a
sorry.
little. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question just before you move on?
Yeah, bet.
Magisto works with both iOS and Android.
Correct.
Okay. That was it.
Okay.
Just me making
Yeah.
sure.
Keyword research is one thing that you probably want to spend your most time on, but you may have been able to accomplish this task just by attending this workshop. It doesn't make a lot of sense to make a video that nobody's looking for. And so you want to make sure that there's a certain level of volume of people who are looking for this information. And you can do that keyword research using two tools, one that I like to use called SpyFu, and another one I like to use called LSI Graph. And then there's another one which I'll jump to now, and it's called trends.google.com. And this is a free keyword research tool from Google. And it looks like Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian again are on the top of the list over there. So let's type it in, realtor near me. See what comes up. Okay, so it looks like 62 times in my neighborhood, realtor near me came up. And 100. Okay. Now we can compare that to schools. Let's see if a school's in. Oh, look at that. Like 100 times more than realtor near me is schools in. Wow. It's really good. Okay. How about another popular one, which is, so I guess that shows you how many buyers there are compared to sellers, right? What's another good one? And for realtors, it's best living score, maybe. No, that one's just above realtors near me. No, it's below it. That's not a good one. But you can see how this can allow you to compare the volume of keywords that are being used. And luckily for us, we chose a great one for today's workshop. I hadn't even actually done this comparison yet until just now. I think it'll let you compare up to 5 keywords at once, and it shows you in this nice graph right here. You can change the time, last 30 days, or you can change the state. And this number isn't exactly accurate, but it does represent the difference between the keywords. Okay. Let's actually type that in and see what comes up. Okay, at the very top, you see these paid ads. And if you haven't heard of Google Local Services, let me tell you about them now. These are the leads you're looking at here at the very top. They're considered the easiest way to manage digital leads. People trust Google, obviously, so they trust that these realtors are trustworthy. And of course, it's very dependent on the number of reviews and how high quality the reviews are. So really how a lot of people make their decisions. So imagine that the Dixon Group is getting a fire hose amount of leads in my neighborhood. If you open up Google Ads and you do some research about Google Local Services, you'll find this type of an ad campaign, and they'll charge you around $80 per lead. This might sound like a lot, but you know, the closing percentage is like 1 in 4 usually. And if you get a call that's not a legitimate lead, you can dispute the lead charges so that they will be removed. And since every call is recorded, you can easily dispute any lead that comes to you that's not a legitimate lead. That is more to do with understanding ads than it is with anything else. But I'm sure you have these questions, obviously. Who are these My Agent Finder, Realtor to Me? How much are they spending? Probably thousands of dollars a month to be there. Then you've got your map pack, and this is your Google business profile. And this is the right place to send people after you've successfully made a transaction. And the right thing to do is to text them a link to this Google business profile and say, hey, would you mind taking 2 minutes to leave me an honest online review? I find that my response rate is over 80% when I do that. Okay, realtor.com.
Can you say that one more time? Because that sounded good. You do what?
Yeah. You send them a text.
You sell a house, you close, and then how do you get that that testimonial?
The link? Yeah. So let's
Just
say
in
if I
general.
wanted to, if I was Olivia and I wanted to get another review for my business, then I would go to her,
You can go to Google My Business, and then there's a link. You can actually send them a link.
Right. I'm looking for that link just as an outside
It's always
person.
hard to find.
Yeah. Maybe I can.
I thought I
go.
saw send.
Yes,
as you scroll up.
send to my phone. I guess
Oh,
that would send it to my phone. Let's see if I can find it here. No. I know I found it before. She doesn't have her address. Oh yeah, she does. And that's another hint too, to use your address. If I go to her photos, can I? Well, they make it more obvious when you actually manage the account. So luckily, there's also a Google My Business app. It's now been changed from the name Google My Business to Google Business Profile. But if you don't have the Google Business Profile on your phone, this is a great time to go download it because it's very helpful in helping you manage this online asset. If you haven't claimed it yet, and you're letting the wild frontier overrun your real estate homestead, there's free property out there on the internet, and all we have to do is claim it, just kind of like the wild frontier a couple hundred years ago. All right, so step 1 is keyword research. Step 2 is writing out a script. That may be another thing that's held you back from creating a video, is you're not sure what to say and when to say it. In this storyboard formula I've used for the last 6 years, it works very well every time. And it keeps the video to a short 1-minute video. You'll start out with the hook. This grabs attention and dismisses 90% of the viewers that it's not suited for. And that's what you want to happen, because then you've built trust with both people who should watch it and people who maybe it just doesn't apply to them. And you've said, don't waste your time, in not so many words, for people that it's not for. And then for people that it's for, it's like, oh, you're going to get a good use of your time investment here. Brand placement, that's where we graphically and musically illustrate your brand. And then point out the pain. This is also another very high-level relationship building conversation. If you can talk about something that you want to avoid, or you know that they want to avoid, like wasting time commuting to work every day, or not having a good place to take your kids, to the park, and they're just driving you crazy. These are things that I'm going to remember. The pain is something that people remember more than the pleasure. So it's a good idea to talk about it. Some people have said, I don't want to be pessimistic or negative. Well, you can look at it that way, but you can also say that you're helping people avoid this thing. which is exactly what you do for your service. So your unique service offering is your name, your title, and what makes you completely different than everybody else. And you might just say that I focus on homes in this neighborhood. Call to action is a great way to engage people who are actually looking to engage further with you. You might have a list of all these schools that you've made that you make public or that you'll send to them in an email. You might place those other videos that I talked about. You might have a little form capture section that says, I'm going to send you all the latest homes as they become available and published on the MLS. Any questions on the storyboard? Take a screenshot of this right now. If you haven't already, a lot of people say this is the most valuable thing of the whole workshop. It's a good framework for copying and applying yourself. You'll see that I use it in the video example that I upload. Here are the tools again, just a
Can you go
brief
back to it
review. What's that?
Can you go back to that screen one more time? I couldn't
Oh,
grab
sure,
it that
sure, yeah.
fast.
Okay,
Thank you. Got it.
you got it. Okay. So we've talked about Magisto. We haven't talked about Legend. And this is a tool I'm going to bring up for you now. And I'm going to use an app, two apps. One of them so that I can show you my phone screen. Another one so that I can make this graphic animation. Okay, so I'm going to jump off of my presentation again, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to type in screen mirror app. I'm going to have that little QR code that I snap with my phone, and it's going to show my phone screen. Yay, worked. And I think there's a button to expand it up here. Oh, well, this will work for now. Yeah, I think it must have automatically done that. Okay, so here's my phone screen. And the app I'm looking for is called Legend. There it is. And I'm going to back up. Oops. And it's going to say, okay. Okay, so I can change the text and I can change the graphic too. But I don't want the graphic. I just want it to be plain. And it's not letting me back up. Huh. Okay, well, let's type in realtor. And what I've done is I've uploaded a graphic of the map of my neighborhood. Okay, so I'm going to press play. And then it's got all of these animation styles on the top. And then it's got all these color combinations on the bottom. So if I choose this color and I choose this animation, what'll it show? Oh, it's like spinning graphics. Okay, what about spliced here? I don't know if I like that one too much. How about splash? Oh yeah, that's cute. I like that one. Okay, so I'm gonna press the download button here on the right, and it lets me download it in a GIF or a video. But let's say I want to change it to a square aspect ratio. I just click that little settings button here in the lower right hand corner, and then I can switch from landscape to square. And yes, I want the highest resolution quality, and then export. Awesome. Easy way to get a video that really describes what I'm trying to talk about really well. And if you have iPhone, I don't believe the Legend app exists. So the one I've found that's the most similar, it's called Textro. Textro. And you can see it offers a lot of the same animations and color combinations and the ability to edit your own text over the top. Okay, little tips and tricks that you can add to your asset pile. And this is probably the biggest reasoning as to why the video does show up on Google. And it's the description. And you're going to see me upload this video in a minute, but I'm going to use this formula in the description. I'm going to have a snippet, which is the first 2 lines of the description. And that's kind of like the first 2 lines in your press release. You're supposed to say the most about the video in the fewest number of words. And that's because when you copy and paste the YouTube URL, what's going to show up in Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter is a thumbnail, the first image of the video. You're going to see the title, and you're going to see the first 2 lines of the description. So then you want a longer description because some people still believe that they can learn more about reading than they can from watching it. So just tell them everything that they would learn from watching it. That's also going to help your keyword ranking score. You want to include other YouTube videos, and you want to include resources. I'll go over this again in just a minute. I'll clarify what is a resource in my description, Anthony. Okay. You want to include your name, address, and phone number. That's referred to as your citation or the NAP. You're going to include the Google Map link, which is the thing we were fishing for earlier. Here's mine. And you want to include the URLs to how they can connect with you on social media, as well as hashtags. So that's what we're going to do right now. And here is the document that I've created for this video. Here's the title. Here's the snippet. Oh, and over here, I'm missing the Google Map link. So I'm going to go find it by searching for my own Google business listing. Anthony Prichard Communications. There it is. And all I do is click on this map section. And there it is. There's the little share link. It's just right there. So click on that, copy the link, and then I put it into my description of my YouTube video. Okay. And I've got links to my social media as well. Let me go do that just the same. I can do the Facebook one. Oh, so I can clip the cap locks there. The way I find that link is by clicking on my face and my name right up here in the upper right-hand corner. And then I just copy and paste the URL into here. Other YouTube videos. Great. So I'm going to go to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to say, what other videos would be relevant for people to watch after they've seen that video? So I'm going to my YouTube studio. Oh, this is the wrong account. So let me switch the account. That's the wrong account. Here it is. Spin, spin. Okay, I'm in the YouTube studio now. And then I'm going to go to the content.
Question.
Yeah.
So YouTube Studio, this is within YouTube. I have a YouTube page, and there's a part of that is a studio. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've never been in there, so.
Oh, yeah. That's the place you probably go to the most if
Okay.
you're creating videos and stuff.
Well, okay.
Okay. And so I'm looking for real estate style videos. Here's a good one. Guess I can click on that. And then I can get the link right here just by clicking that and putting it into my description. Okay, so now I've got, other resources for best schools in Englewood. You'll see I've got this schooldigger.com, greatschools.com, and niche.com/12K. What I did to grab those was I went to Google and I typed in best schools in Englewood, Colorado. And as long as it wasn't a realtor that was doing the same thing, I was fine with grabbing these other resources and pasting them in to the description of my video, thereby showing YouTube that I'm a very resourceful piece of content. And so I'm going to copy this. Here I am in my YouTube channel, looking for this button in the upper right hand corner called Create. And I'm going to upload this video and click the video that I've created earlier. As I said, I don't have time in this particular workshop to show you how I edited this video, but I gave you the method, the tools in which I used to do that. And it's going to say, here you are. And you best schools to attend in Englewood, Colorado. Now it pre-filled my description with the same information, but in this particular case, I've already got everything I know I need. So I'm just gonna highlight everything here. Ooh, and delete it, and then paste in the information. I'm going to delete this and go over here. And you can see that I've got lots of good keywords in here, like middle school, high school, grade school, Englewood, Colorado. So that all these words that I have in the title can also be found in the description. And
Why does that matter?
there's actually 3 areas that in which you tell Google what your video is about. And it's the title, the description, and the meta tags. And by lining up all 3 of those, you're telling Google exactly what you should be ranked for. Okay, so I'm going to choose this playlist here. And I should have a realtor playlist. And I'm going to say, no, it's not made for kids, really, even though there's no profanity or anything. Now here's the meta tags right here. And in the meta tags, I want to make sure the exact keyword that I'm trying to rank for shows up here in the tags. So best schools to attend in Englewood, Colorado. Best schools in Englewood. And a realtor near me. Realtor in Englewood. Okay. Now you've got these other boxes here. Should fill them all out. It's kind of like an SAT test. More boxes you fill out, better score you get. This was recorded yesterday. Video location is Englewood. I guess it was actually in high school. And then you can see that what came up, you can choose the category, education. What came up as a thumbnail from my video. And this is an important part of the performance aspect of your video. You want to be able to have an engaging looking thumbnail. So I'm going to show you a quick way to grab an attractive and a thumbnail that works well when people see it. Okay, so what I've got here is just my face in the corner, and I'm gonna do a quick screen share of this, or screen capture, sorry, rather. And then I'm gonna go to another great little tool that you probably all have heard of called Canva. Has everyone heard of Canva? So they've got a canvas for the thumbnail. And if I type in YouTube thumbnail, then it's going to give me the exact canvas that I need. So I'm going to choose that blank canvas. And then I'm going to upload that screenshot that I just captured. And then I'm going to drag it over into this thumbnail canvas. And you can see that it lets me stretch the photo to the right size. And then it lets me choose over here on the left, this text button. And to add this text, and make this nice and big. And maybe I'll look for like a little school graphic or something. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and I'm going to position that backwards. This is going to look better if it's up here and if it's a little smaller. Like that. Like that. Okay, then I'm going to download, not as a PNG, I want a small file size, JPEG. And I'm going to go back to this thumbnail area here. And I'm going to say, upload that thumbnail that I just created. And there it is. So I'm going to click next. This is some nice feature ability. And this is where I would put those other 3 videos that I create, the grade school video, the middle school video, and the high school video. And I would add them to the screen so that at the end of this video where I say, go check out my list of grade schools in Englewood, go check out grade schools, or maybe you've got a middle schooler, you can see that one instead. Then they can just click on that video. And this is where that would go. But I don't have those videos made yet, so I'm going to skip that. No copyrights found. No worries if the music you use does have a copyright. In Magisto, it's all considered royalty-free music. So if they recognize that song, you might say, they might say, oh, that's a copywritten song, but the artist has given it to royalty-free usage. And if you have a strike, if you have a found, like it finds that, it's not a mark against you unless the artist strikes it or claims it. So what you're doing again with Magisto is making sure that none of your music gets claimed by the artist. And you don't get 3 strikes. Okay, so I'm going to make this public for right now. All right. And then what I'm going to do is copy this URL, right? And I'm going to email it to everybody who I think would be a person in my circle of trust who would value the information that I discovered, who would value my research and development. Now, I could also use this video in Facebook or in LinkedIn, and I could use the same link to just publish it over there. Another thing I can do on those venues now, I didn't used to be able to, but I can now, is I can upload those videos natively to those platforms. These types of videos are transparent across all of those profile or platforms. So this is the step 4 and 5. Step 6 and 7, we went over this. We made Canva to make an easy thumbnail. And so this is a quick overview of the video that I did. I came up with the hook. I'm kind of showing you my process here. And I knew the question I was going to ask at the beginning. I've got the brand placement in there. I think I may have skipped the animated logo piece. No, I think I've got it. I used legend on this one. And then the pain was where you live determines where you go to school. So you want to make sure you understand those boundaries. Well, it's hard to find those boundaries online. So the best way for them to get that information is to call me directly. But I didn't say that in the video. Then I said my name, my title, again, disclaimer, I'm not a licensed realtor yet. I'm still in school. And then at the end, I said, go get the list. So there's a big giveaway for this workshop, and the giveaway is my invention. I actually went through the process of getting a patent on this tool that I use to help me get videos. I say it helps anyone to make a video 10 times easier, and you don't have to ask anybody to hold the phone for you while you're recording video. It's a 16-inch long mount, monoscoping mount. So that means there's no legs of a tripod to get in the way. You just screw this little clamp mount to the bottom of the telescoping pole, and then you clamp it to any table, desk, or chair. And there's a table, a desk, or a chair in every room that you can clamp it to. You unhook these, bring it to eye level, and put your phone in the top. Then you can stand back and you can talk about the kitchen. You can talk about the view from the upper balcony. You can actually modify this so that you can walk and talk as you're going through the building, as I did in my first video, and you can let the camera lens do most of the hard work for you by showing what's over your shoulder. And so you can point at these things. You can kind of hold yourself in the frame. Remember, don't look at the display, look at the lens. But you can see, because the lens is close to the display, if you're in the frame. Okay, so this is pretty handy. And after 5 years, I continue to use it as my primary method of video capture whenever I'm in the field. There are other things out there, of course, that I continue to try, but none of them are as flexible as this. You can remove the telescoping pole and just place the camera mount on the clamp, and you can clip this to your visor in your car. You can slide your phone in there, and you can wax about anything on your mind, about where you're going, what appointment you were at, and the one you're going to. You can just talk about the things you're driving past, the things you love in your neighborhood. This is a great way to capture content that's, again, not something that's going to take extra time because you're already doing it every day anyways. This has my book, 3 Simple Steps to Selling on YouTube. It's written in a way that, again, helps anyone understand this, even if you haven't gone through this workshop. Like, for example, a virtual assistant or an office assistant. You can send your video clips to her or him. They can edit those clips and then upload them to YouTube using this formula. It has a light that clamps over your phone so that the camera lens is right in the middle of the light. And then you never have bad lighting, even if you're in a crawl space or an attic. This is helpful, especially when you're going through houses and you're not outside. Last thing it comes with is a microphone, because good audio is more important than good video. Somebody will turn off a video for bad audio before they'll turn off a video for bad video. So whether you have an iPhone or you have the USB-C, I'll make sure that the winner gets the right microphone. Okay, so to be entered in the contest, I will let the winner know in half an hour. Your instructions are to email me your video testimonial. And my email address is ap@anthonyprichard.com. I don't see this here, so I'm going to add some text. And I'll put it in the chat. I'm going to review the video testimonials, see who really knocked it out of the park. And oh wait, that's not it.
Sending us to your YouTube. Good.
Yeah,
Smart.
that's the video we did. Never mind. Okay, so are you ready for the proof of concept? Okay, so here's the value of the prize that you're getting. It comes with 2 45-minute appointments with me where we create your digital footprint and help you get ranked for the keyword realtor near me. And I can give you my 3 training videos on exactly how to create these 1-minute videos and show up on the first page of Google. All right, so here is the proof of concept. Drum roll, please. All right, so what you've got here is this university.
There it is.
You did it on yours? There it is.
Yeah.
First page of Google. Not paying thousands of dollars.
Wow.
I beat out US News, Yelp, Franklin EDU, all these
That's
companies.
amazing.
And should we go back to Google Trends to see how often that keyword gets searched? We don't have to. So very powerful stuff here. I hope this was a really good education on SEO, search engine optimization, how to show up on the first page of Google with a 1-minute video. Since we haven't heard it yet, we might as well let her roll. If you're looking to move to Englewood and you know you want your kids to go to the best school, this video is for you. What's not a problem is that Englewood is very centrally located. And so even if you decide to attend a school that's outside of Englewood, like say in Denver or Littleton. As you probably already know, the school you go to can be determined by your physical address, even if the school that you want to go to is just right across the street. Hi, my name is Anthony Prichard, and I'm a licensed real estate agent. I focus on homes in and around the Englewood area, and I put this list together for people who are thinking about moving to Englewood, and they want their kids to go to the best schools possible. So click on the link in this video to get my list and my video tour of all the best schools to attend in Englewood. Golf clap, yay.
Awesome.
Great. So speak as a unit. If you want the additional workshops on how to edit, including that screen share style video I did while I was looking at my screen, let your brokers know that this was valuable information that you can use right away to help them and help you sell more homes. And then the third one is how to create those ads on Google local search. So happy to be here and share this information with you. I'll be looking in my email for those videos, and I'm looking forward to sending this out to the winner. Thanks for attending my workshop today.
I have
Did
a
you put
question.
it in the chat? Did you put your email in there?
Yes, I did put my email in the
I
chat.
don't see it.
I don't see it. It was showing up on that screen.
Yeah, well, I don't see it.
Okay.
And it was not a testimonial for a specific thing, right? Was it
Right.
supposed to be for this class or?
No, it doesn't have to be for this class, but that would be great. You might get some bonus points.
Yeah. It was too early on. We couldn't have said the phenomenal things about you.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Well, big thanks to Harry for letting me do this workshop and facilitating this today. We went a few minutes over, but I hope it was well worth it. Feel free to email me or call me with any questions. I do offer a free 45-minute coaching call in exchange for your honest online review as well. So if you leave me an online review in LinkedIn or Facebook or Google, I'm happy to share with you and go to work for you for 45 minutes. You tell me what you need help with and I'll do it.
Can you tell us your email again? Because I'm still not seeing it.
Me neither.
Oh, you know what? I'm sending it to the waiting room participants.
Oh, I wonder why
That's
we're not
why.
getting it.
Yeah.
There.
Let me change that. Let me see. Everyone in the meeting. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was wondering who people were showing up, and I was texting them saying, "Welcome to the workshop. Does anybody want to be my co-host?" Big gratitude. Thanks again to Harry
There we
for
go.
being my co-host.
Thank you. This was really great.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Anybody have any questions or anything to say?
I need to spend another 45 minutes with you when you have a time. I will email it to you and find out what's your good timing. I'm sure after Christmas now. I mean, not right now because I know you're busy and
Mhm.
we need that timing. And thanks for.
I think there's a,
Yes,
so
I
it's
really appreciate it.
AP. Sorry.
AP@anthonypritchard.com. Yeah, over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be finishing my real estate schooling. So I'll be finishing a class a day is my goal. And then I'll be a licensed realtor in February.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Put it off long enough.
What did Joe had a question about realtors and what is the limitation regarding realtors talking about schools? Oh, is there a
It's a broker question, I think. Well,
Yeah, well, if they, we know.
Harry, are you there?
Doesn't look like it. I did go over my time, so he may have had something other scheduled. Yeah, I know, if somebody asks for a list about child abusers or something, we send them to a website. We can't talk about it other than that.
I think my
It is probably
video is
different.
too big for some reason. Huh.
Your local area?
Oh, you talking? Yeah, I think it's probably different state by state. Like I was just writing a listing the other day and I can't use the word child in the listing. I can't use I can't talk about kids because that's insinuating familial status.
Mm.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there are any topics we have to be careful of with that stuff.
Well, one thing's for certain. I know we have a lot more capabilities than financial advisors. They can't do anything. They can't publish any videos.
That's good for us.
Probably. They would get bombarded by too many. You're welcome.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
This was awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
We definitely like another session, that's for sure, in some capacity.
Great. All right, everybody. I'll see you later or see you next time.
All right, thanks again.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you later.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.